Tonight, Helene may be gone, but the impacts are still here and the recovery is just beginning. In moments, what we know about water issues, blocked roadways, and where you can get help now on News 5.
From WCYB, this is News 5 at 6.
Good evening. No words could adequately describe what so many of us have been through the last 24 hours. But tonight we're going to do our absolute best to give you as much information as possible. Tonight we have team coverage from every angle. Natalia Helene is in Greene County, where washed out bridges have left many communities stranded. Johnny Nordello is in Greenville, where water is expected to run out in a matter of days. Liam Bridgman is following the rescue operation in Carter County. But we begin tonight with News 5's Preston Ayers live along Interstate 26. He's following Governor Bill Lee, who is touring the devastation after President Biden granted a disaster declaration to East Tennessee. Preston, what do we know tonight?
Caleb, good evening. In talking with the governor this afternoon, he did tell me that disaster declaration will speed things along in getting resources into these communities that need the help so much. But one of the biggest things they've got to do is reconnect those communities. We're standing on a closed I-26. This is a big part of that plan. The governor, along with Senator Marsha Blackburn, Congresswoman Diana Harshbarger, and several state officials looking at the damage and destruction by air this afternoon, describing it as shocking and heartbreaking. The governor saying, in getting these resources here, they've got to get the communities reconnected. I spoke with Butch Ely. He's the deputy governor and the TDOT commissioner, and talked about the amount of road damage there is in the area. He gave me some numbers I want to share with you. There are 4 state routes right now across Northeast Tennessee: State Route 34, State Route 159 in Carter County, 34 is in Johnson County, 81 in Unicoi County, and State Route 91 in Johnson County. Those state routes are completely considered major destruction. A lot of road rebuilding to happen there. Then the bridges. We've all seen that video, the bridges washing away in many places. When it comes to TDOT, they have 3 they're going to have to repair. That's one on State Route 81, one on State Route 353 in Washington County, those both in Washington County, and Highway 107 in Greene County, the bridge there. Now, there's also several county bridges out there. That's not included in those numbers. Then the interstates. Look behind me. This is I-26. We're about the 30-something mile marker here. You see the troopers have it blocked off, traffic rerouted. This is going to be the case here for a long time to come. 2 bridges here have to be repaired. Then there's I-40 over into North Carolina. I asked the governor about his impression from seeing it from above. He said it's heartbreaking, but he promises resources are on the way to help those impacted.
Every time you see a disaster, it's a little bit different. And certainly I've never seen a hurricane disaster in Tennessee that has looked like this, not in the years that I've been here. It's unique. As you know, the flood levels in some of the counties up here were truly historic. It's never happened like this before. When you see the hospital that basically was underwater, when you see homes and businesses gone, it's heartbreaking.
And another aspect we want to talk about and don't want to overshadow is the number of people who are considered missing right now. I was speaking with the director of TEMA earlier this afternoon. They're now working with the TBI. They're asking us to share with you 1-800-TBI-FIND. If you have a friend or a loved one who is missing, call that number, 1-800-TBI-FIND, and let them know about it, as we see that number, sadly, is still going up across the region. We're going to keep covering it. We're live in Unicoi County right now. Preston Ayers, News 5, WCYB. Caleb.
Thanks, Preston. Now we go live to News 5's Heather Williams in Unicoi County, where emergency officials just held a press conference.
Yeah, Preston, they had this press conference here at Unicoi County High School. This high school is also serving as a relief shelter for those that were impacted by the flooding. It's also where many of the family members of the missing have gathered. You can see many of them behind me here waiting for information about their family members. If you took a look at this video, many of those people that were missing were working at Impact Plastics, which is in this general area of some of the worst flooding in the county. The family members, most of them are Hispanic. They're having a hard time getting information because of the language barrier. They are very frustrated. EMA officials say that unfortunately there are some fatalities in this flooding, but they won't say exactly what part of the county, if it's in this hardest hit area, if it's some other area. They say they will address those at a press conference earlier tomorrow morning. Right now, what EMA officials are saying is that the county is hurting.
I ask that you continue to keep our people in Unicoi County, our families, our residents, in your prayers. Many of the first responders who are working right now do not have water, don't have electricity. and they're leaving their families to come help others. So we ask for your prayers and continue to work with us in the days to come, and we're going to do the best we can for Unicoi County.
There is also a curfew now in effect for Unicoi County. They're asking people to stay off the roads from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. unless you are seeking shelter. Reporting live in Irwin, Heather Williams, News 5 WCYB.
Thankfully, there is a little bit of good news tonight. The Tennessee Valley Authority reports that the Nolichucky River crested today and that they are no longer worried about the potential for the Nolichucky Dam to fail. The TVA warns you that you should be mindful of changing water levels as they're having to release excess water from area dams. Also new tonight, Ballad Health says that it is suspending operations at Greenville Community Hospital. It comes after a water rescue at Unicoi County Hospital where floodwaters forced it to close. Now in Greenville, Ballad says that water availability in the city is forcing the hospital closure there. Emergency room services will remain available, and at Sycamore Shoals Hospital in Elizabethton, only emergency room services are available there. Now water problems are impacting a lot of the region. Greenville Police Chief Steve Spano is asking people to conserve water after water pumps were destroyed, and now the town is running out. News 5's Johnny Nordello was there live with what we know about that tonight.
Yeah, Caleb, I'm here in downtown Greenville where the community is currently having a water crisis. And now we're going to pan over to one of the many businesses. Oh, somebody's saying something. We're going to pan over to one of the many businesses that has currently been shut down because of the water crisis. But this is also what we know so far. The water pumps in the rivers have been completely destroyed, and officials are asking everybody in the community to conserve their water. They're also asking that restaurants and non-essential jobs shut down. And since 2 p.m. today, the water in Greene County has been shut off for all residents, and they are possibly facing 24 to 48 hours without water. Also, Ballad Health released a statement that Greenville Community Hospital will suspend all services except the emergency room because of the water shortage. Earlier today, News 5 spoke with the mayor of Greene County, and he says they're working hard to reopen the water services.
What the Water Commission is now trying to determine as the water level recedes, what the extent of the damage is to the other intake infrastructure. So they've been in contact with several water pumping companies that supply or can supply emergency pumps that they have already gotten started on the way to Greene County to hook up in some temporary fashion to pump water into the reservoir.
Now we're going to continue to monitor the situation and give you more updates as they come to us. But in the meantime, I'm going to send it back to you. Reporting live from Greene County, Johnny Nordello, News 5 WCYB.
Thanks, Johnny. And Greenville is not the only place dealing with a water shortage. Tonight, Jonesboro is also asking people to take immediate action and conserve water. Officials say its water plant is operational, but because of mud from flooding, they're unable to safely treat it. They've also had to shut off service in communities near the Nolichucky River. They hope to get that back online as the river settles. Several utilities advising people to boil their water tonight in Washington County, Virginia. That's affecting people in Taylors Valley, Damascus, Alvarado, Sugar Cove Road, and on the Porterfield Highway between John Douglas Wayside and the Russell County line. Lee County issuing a boil water notice to eastern parts of the county, Cave Springs, and Old Woodway Road. Irwin Utilities also advising people to boil their water. They're also telling people to stay out of the Nolichucky River south of the Jackson Love Bridge due to sewage treatment plant failure. And Elizabethton also advising people to boil their water tonight. Flooding has also washed out many bridges across the region. In Greenville, it's left people stranded in the southern part of the county. News 5's Natalia Helene is there.
I'm in Greene County at the 107 bridge on Irwin Highway. And as you can see, the bridge behind me is completely gone due to Hurricane Helene. Earlier today, I spoke with the mayor of Greene County, Mayor Kevin Morrison, and he told me that everyone who is living on the south side part of the river is completely blocked off from first responders and EMS getting there to help.
We have no way logistically to get water, food, medical supplies, or evacuate emergencies from the south side of the river.
Morrison says they are formulating plans to get water and food across the river to those completely cut off. With nearly 8,000 people without power in Greene County, he does not know how long it will take for it to come back on.
One of the critical problems that we've got for restoring power services is being able to get, for instance, replacement poles across the river and equipment.
All the bridges have to be assessed for structural integrity. Mayor Morrison says they've been talking to the Tennessee Department of Transportation.
They are en route to Greene County to assess the structural integrity of the bridges that did survive so that we can see if we could at least use one or two of those. We're very prayerful and hopeful that that would be the case, that we can get heavier logistical items across the river.
Mayor Morrison told me that agencies from the state of Tennessee will be arriving in Greene County on Sunday to bring bottled top water to those in need. They will be setting up distribution points around the area. In Greene County, Natalia Helene, News 5, WCYB.
There's so much more information to get to tonight. Up next, the rescue efforts in Carter County and the agencies from hours away coming to help. The intense floodwaters making transportation difficult across the region. Flooding wiped out a set of bridges on Interstate 26 in Irwin. This is just before exit 40 at Jackson Love Highway. Meanwhile, this is the situation in western North Carolina. In addition to those bridges on I-26, bridges are also collapsed on Interstate 40, leaving few options for getting into or out of Asheville. In Elizabethton, both the Broad Street and Elk Avenue bridges are closed until officials can assess the structural integrity. Local emergency management leaders are asking you to avoid Sycamore Street in the meantime to allow access for first responders. They recommend staying home or using an alternative route to cross the river. Those include State Line Road, Mary Patton Highway, and taking Highway 19E to Piney Flats. Tonight, we're also getting reports of internet and cellular outages, some causing long lines at gas stations that are forced to go cash only. In Roan Mountain, emergency management teams across the state are there to help with search and rescue efforts. News 5's Liam Bridgman is there.
I'm here at Elizabethton High School, where emergency response teams from around the region have gathered to help with search and rescue in Roan Mountain. The community of Roan Mountain was hit hard by Hurricane Helene yesterday. Fast rising waters led to streets being unrecognizable and many homes being flooded. Emergency management officials say some in the area are still unaccounted for at this time. But search and rescue operations will continue as long as necessary, thanks to several rescue teams joining forces in Carter County.
Having the ability and the assets to be able to come here and help folks in Carter County, is really a kind of a privilege and an honor for us. And, we know that if the roles were reversed, they'd be there for us.
Mayor Patty Woodby told me she's been in contact with both state and federal emergency management agencies. She says the safety of those in Roan Mountain is a top priority.
Next few days are just going to be as long as now that the storm and the waters have went down. Now today will be more of a search and rescue mission and trying to prepare and see what the damages and devastation are to the county, and most of all, see if we can help people and get any of the resources that we need to get to them.
The next step after rescue is recovery. I spoke with a TEMA agent that told me he expects both state and federal agencies to be in Roan Mountain to gauge those recovery efforts in the coming weeks. In Elizabethton, Liam Bridgman, News 5, WCYB.
Washington County, Tennessee officials say they performed nearly 24 swiftwater rescues during this storm. The recovery efforts there after the break. Tonight, Washington County, Tennessee officials are working on recovery efforts. This morning, officials said that they have answered 982 911 calls and performed 21 swiftwater rescue missions. All bridges crossing the Nolichucky River are closed.
We have issues with not just flood waters covering the roads, but damage to the roads themselves. All the bridges crossing the Nolichucky River in Washington County are currently closed, pending assessments for safety. We do know there are bridges that have collapsed. Other bridges are intact but closed until we can assess those to make sure they're safe to travel across.
Nuclear Fuel Services in Irwin says it is pausing operations. According to a company spokesperson, Nuclear Fuel Services is assessing conditions at the facility in the aftermath of Helene. Company leaders say while the local community was impacted by damage from extensive flooding, NFS property sustained minor impact.
Well, flood warnings remain in effect through tomorrow afternoon for Tazewell Smith with Grayson, Ash, Watauga, Johnson, Carter, and Unicoi and Washington counties. The rivers are continuing to recede, but it is going to take several more days for that. We do have some light rain showers moving through the area right now. You can definitely see this is the remnants of Helene, and right there into the very western portions of Kentucky, that's where the low is right now. Unfortunately, it is going to continue to move back east, and that's what we're going to be receiving over the next few days. So some light rain showers for tonight, some scattered in nature. Same thing as we're heading into Sunday, some light to moderate rain showers at times. Could hear a few rumbles of thunder late afternoon Sunday night, and this is going to continue into Monday and Tuesday as well. Overnight lows into the upper 50s to low 60s. For tomorrow, 73 degrees. We'll stay with some low to mid 70s for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
In just a moment, we'll have details on where you can go if you need help and how you can pitch in.
Storm Track 5 weather cameras brought to you by your locally owned Ashley.
Now, if you need help, here's a list of shelters that are open tonight. Unicoi County High School, Elizabethton High School, Carnes Gym in Big Stone Gap, Coburn Middle School, Happy Valley High School, First Christian Church in Mountain City, First Baptist Church in Rome Mountain, and Asbury United Methodist Church in Greenville. The Elizabethton Elks Lodge is also offering supplies today and tomorrow. And tonight, a lot of folks who have come out lucky have been asking me about how to help. Here are some places accepting donations. Sullivan East High School is accepting water from 7 until 10 o'clock tonight. Elizabethton Parks and Recreation is accepting food, water, and baby items. The Elizabethton Elks Lodge is also accepting supplies. Happy Valley High School accepting donations of supplies, and Rise Irwin is accepting money to help with the recovery in Unicoi County. We're back in just a moment. We'll keep posting every update we get online at WCYB.com throughout the evening. Stay safe, check on your neighbor. We'll see you back at 11.